Hello and welcome back to Tech Challenge Zone. Let me ask you a simple question. Right now, how many devices are around you? Maybe you're watching this video on a mobile phone, a laptop, a tablet, or a computer. You tap the screen, click buttons, type messages, watch videos, listen to music, and everything works perfectly. But have you ever stopped and wondered, how does a computer actually understand what you want? When you press a key on your keyboard, how does a computer know which letter you typed? When you move your mouse, how does a pointer move on the screen? When you speak into a microphone, how does a computer hear your voice? And when a computer shows a video, plays a song, or prints a document, how does it communicate back to you? The answer lies in something we use every day but rarely think about: input and output devices. These devices act like the eyes, ears, mouth, and hands of a computer. Without them, even the most powerful computer in the world would be completely useless. In today's video, we're going to uncover the fascinating journey of information between humans and computers, explore how input and output devices work, discover some surprising facts, and learn why these devices are the real bridge between us and technology. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at your keyboard, mouse, or smartphone the same way again. So let's dive in. Imagine for a moment that you own the most powerful computer in the world. It has the fastest processor, unlimited storage, and incredible computing power. But there is one problem. It has no keyboard, no mouse, no screen, no speakers, no microphone, and no touchscreen. Could you use it? The answer is no. Even though the computer is powerful, it would be completely useless because there would be no way for you to communicate with it and no way for it to communicate with you. This is why input and output devices are so important. They act like the senses of a computer. Just as humans use eyes to see, ears to hear, and mouths to speak, computers rely on input and output devices to interact with the world. Let's start with input devices. An input device is any device that sends information from a user to a computer. In simple words, it is a tool that helps a computer receive data. Every time you type a letter on a keyboard, move a mouse, speak into a microphone, scan a barcode, or touch a screen, you are providing input to the computer. The computer cannot guess what you want. It depends entirely on the information it receives through these devices. Take a keyboard as an example. When you press the letter A, you might think the keyboard sends the letter A to the computer. Surprisingly, that's not what happens. The keyboard sends a special electronic signal. The computer receives that signal and interprets it as the letter A. The same thing happens for every key you press. Whether it's a number, a symbol, or a letter, the keyboard converts your action into a language that the computer can understand. This entire process happens in a tiny fraction of a second. Now, think about a mouse. A mouse might seem simple, but it's constantly sending information to the computer. Every movement of the mouse changes the position of the cursor on your screen. When you click a button, the mouse immediately sends a signal to the computer, informing it that an action has been performed. The computer then decides what should happen next. If you click on a video, it starts playing. If you click on a folder, it opens. All of this begins with input. Microphones are another fascinating example of input devices. When you speak into a microphone, your voice creates sound waves. The microphone converts these sound waves into electrical signals, which are then transformed into digital information. This allows computers and smartphones to understand voice commands. Every time you talk to a voice assistant or record audio, a microphone is working as an input device. Cameras and webcams are also input devices. They capture light and convert it into digital information that a computer can process. This is how video calls work. The camera continuously captures your image and sends that information to the computer, which then transmits it across the internet to another person. Scanners are another type of input device. Imagine you have a photograph on paper. A scanner captures the image and converts it into digital data that can be stored inside a computer. In other words, the scanner helps bring information from the physical world into the digital world. Now let's switch our attention to output devices. If input devices help computers receive information, output devices help computers send information back to us. An output device is any device that presents processed information from a computer to a user. Without output devices, computers would be able to process data, but nobody would ever know the result. The most common output device is the monitor. Every time you look at a computer screen, you are receiving output from the computer. Whether it's text, images, videos, or games, the monitor displays information generated by the computer. But here's a surprising fact. Your monitor never actually displays letters, photos, or videos. It only displays millions of tiny colored dots called pixels. Your brain combines these pixels and interprets them as meaningful images. Even the video you're watching right now is nothing more than millions of pixels changing rapidly every second. Speakers are another output device. When a computer wants to play music, a movie, or a notification sound, it sends digital information to the speakers. The speakers convert that information into sound waves that our ears can hear. Without speakers or headphones, computers will remain completely silent. Printers are output devices as well. Instead of displaying information on a screen, they transfer digital information onto paper. When you print a document, the computer sends instructions to the printer, which recreates the information physically using ink or toner. Projectors also function as output devices. They take visual information from a computer and display it on a large surface, allowing many people to view the same content simultaneously. Now comes an interesting question. Are there devices that can act as both input and output devices? The answer is yes. One of the best examples is a touchscreen. When you tap the screen of a smartphone or tablet, the screen receives your touch and sends that information to the computer system inside the device. At that moment, it acts as an input device. But the same screen also displays text, images, videos, and apps, making an output device at the same time. This means a touch screen performs two jobs simultaneously. ATMs work in a similar way. The screen displays options and information to users, making it an output device. At the same time, users touch the screen or press buttons to provide information, making it an input device as well. Many modern devices combine both input and output functions to create a smoother user experience. Let's follow the journey of a simple mouse click to understand how input and output devices work together. Imagine you move your mouse and click on a video. First, the mouse sends an input signal to the computer. The computer receives a signal and processes it. It determines that you want to play a video. Then the processor retrieves the video data and sends instructions to the monitor and speakers. The monitor displays moving images while the speakers produce sound. In less than a second, input devices have delivered your requested computer, and output devices have delivered the response back to you. This entire cycle happens so quickly that we rarely notice the incredible technology working behind the scenes. The more you think about it, the more amazing it becomes. Every text message you type, every video you watch, every online class you attend, every game you play, and every photo you capture depends on input and output devices working together perfectly. They are the bridge connecting humans and computers. Before we finish, here are a few fascinating facts. The first computer mouse was made of wood. Touchscreen technology existed decades before smartphones became popular. Modern microphones are sensitive enough to capture extremely faint sounds. Advanced cameras can detect types of light that are invisible to human eyes. And every second, computers around the world process billions of inputs and generate billions of outputs. So, how does a computer understand humans? The truth is that it doesn't understand us directly. Instead, input devices translate our actions into digital signals that computers can process, and output devices translate the computer's responses into forms that humans can understand. Together, they create a bridge between two completely different worlds, human beings and machines. The next time you type on a keyboard, click a mouse, tap a touchscreen, or listen through speakers, remember that you're participating in a remarkable conversation made possible by input and output devices. Without them, the digital world we rely on every day simply wouldn't exist. And there you have it. Now you know that computers don't really understand human language, voices, images, or touch directly. Instead, input devices convert our actions into digital signals, and output devices convert those digital signals back into something we can understand. Together, they make communication between humans and computers possible. The next time you type on a keyboard, move a mouse, tap a touchscreen, or watch a video on your screen, remember that a fascinating process is happening behind the scenes in just a fraction of a second. If you learned something new today, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with your friends and family so they can discover how computers communicate with us every day. And if you enjoy exploring interesting technology topics in simple and easy-to-understand language, make sure to subscribe to Tech Challenge Zone and turn on notifications so you never miss our future videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next Tech Challenge Zone video.